Hello, everybody. I made it. Think I'm doing a little bit better than last week, getting this thing going. So, welcome to Tell Your Story. We're going to do some writing sprints today. And today's topic, I chose that uh, momentum is better than motivation to tell your story and to actually do anything. If you're depending on your motivation, you're not always motivated. You show up or you don't show up if you don't feel if you're not feeling it. And it's funny how as a runner, there's a lot of comparisons between running and writing. And the more you run, the more consistent you get. There might be cold mornings like it has been lately, and you just don't want to get out there. But then once you start going, you feel much better. But it's so easy just to not do it if you're not feeling motivated. But if you build some momentum, you can't help yourself. You just gradually over time you feel the need to get going, and you feel worse if you don't do what you're working on. So this happens to me sometimes with writing. Like I'm not feeling it, but I know I want to get my story done. So I'll just start writing, and then as I'm writing, then everything starts flowing, and it's crazy how that works, but it does. So and just give it a couple more minutes of people to show up, and I hoping I'm not muted. I don't think I'm muted today. That was a train wreck last week. So, if anybody's on here, would you like to say what you're working on? I'm going to be continuing my saga of my journey, the Roadrunner. I'm on my final state that I'm covering in this book. So, I'm on my 10th state. And then I'll end up, after that, all I'll have to do is like a concluding chapter. And then the first draft is done, and I have lots of editing to do. I already know there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to fix and rework, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I just want to get this done. And as I've been writing, being consistent writing, as I get further in the book, then I'm getting ideas of how I want to change the earlier chapters around. So yeah, it's very cool. It's a very cool process. I love it. So yeah, and another thing about gaining the momentum too is that it might just feel like slow and boring, but if you're just waiting for motivation, it's exciting and everything, but then you get inconsistent and it takes a lot longer to get things done if you even get back to it. So, but as you're building momentum, on the other hand, you take a look back after you've gone far and you see how far you've come and you just feel accomplished. Hi, Michael. Oh, thank you for joining. I'm glad you were able to make it today. That's so awesome. And this is only my third week doing this. It's still a little bit of an experiment, but I'm loving it. And I just want to give space to people that want to do some writing or whatever projects they're working on, even if it's time to take time for yourself to go through emails or this for anybody. But I know I'm gearing myself towards writing. I really want to finish this book. And I feel like a lot of people are in that position. So I just want to give an open space for that. So, yep. Thank you. And thank you, anybody that's joining. And feel free to go ahead and play the replay if it helps to have that visual of the countdown to give you that time to focus. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start the countdown for 20 minutes, and then we'll be back and we'll see how you did. We'll see you in 20. All right, the time is up, and boy, does that fly. Well, that was a pretty good session. I got a little bit done. I got a few paragraphs done, and I made it to another page. If there's anybody else out here, feel free to tell me how you did. Was it good to be able to focus? You get anything done? In the meantime, as I'm also the host of Gen X Journeys, I figure I'd throw in a little twist. I figure I'd throw in a little trivia. So, and I got it from this box. It's 80s and 90s trivia. Ooh, how does this camera work? All right. And the question is, what R.L. Stein series originally had 62 books and featured titles like Say Cheese and Die and Night of the Living Dummy? So figured I'd go with a book one for now. And I am on my writing about my New York race, and I wrote about my arrival into the city, and now I'm going to go pick up my number. And as I was walking to go pick up my number, then I realized I was in front of the World Trade Center, which I hadn't been in that area at all since the 9/11. So I just had a feeling that, and I got chills, and I look up and the uh, World Trade Center was right there. So it was an incredible feeling. It's very emotional. Hey, Michael. Oh, wow. You kicked some butt. That's awesome. 452 words. Woo. About changelings trying to get into human city. Started with a dream. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah. So it's so funny. I had like a funky dream this week. I'm thinking, oh, I could probably add that, make that in a story. I'm trying to get this done first, though. But yeah, it's amazing how ideas can come to you, especially in dreams and stuff. And that's a pretty cool idea. Have you written any books before? Do you normally write this type of story? That's so cool. I'm glad you made some progress. That's so awesome. Yeah, it's cool that you started an outline. Did you do an outline or you just took notes? Oh no, I can't see the. All right. Yeah, I got my master's degree in creative writing, and in some of those classes, I learned to outline, and as I was outlining, I just felt so good doing that. It was like very creative, and as you're making the outline, you get more and more ideas. So for me, if I write fiction, I have a feeling that I'll do an outline and then jump into it, because with my luck, I'd probably get writer's block. I'll get stuck and write myself into a wall or something. So, but for now, I'm writing about running in all 50 states. I've done 13 so far, so I'm covering 10 states in each book. So it kind of outlines itself. So, oh, urban fantasy. You still learn how to do this here. Yes, I've written an urban fantasy book called Without a Spark. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, hey, you got to start somewhere, and it's amazing once you take those steps and once you start taking the action. It's amazing how everything opens up for you. Um, uh, is your book available anywhere? Is it on Amazon or anything, or you have the website or anything that we could go check you out? Um, this book I'm writing, it's my first book, and I'm also going to be in 2 anthologies this year. One's coming up in August. It's called Born to Risk, and it's a veterans edition. So it's I believe it's 30 of us veterans that each have a story in there, and that's it's going to be incredible. And I just found out yesterday I'm going to be in another anthology that's coming out October 2nd for Rich Thinking. It's a mindset. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be writing about that, but yeah. Oh, very cool. I'll have to look you up. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, the yeah, it's quite an adventure, and it's amazing going to all the different states, and especially in these days where everybody's so divided. And then when you go to these places, you see that we have way more in common than the media will let you believe. But it's so much fun going to different places, tell people what I'm doing, and they get so excited, telling me about the area, all the best restaurants to go to, and I learned so much. It's fun. And then for each race, I'm also bringing attention to the charity of each race too. So, yep, it's a blast. And oh, I got to be careful with my microphone. I got to make sure I talk into it better because I've been noticing on my Gen X Journeys podcast, after a while, it kind of cuts in and out. So I think I got to be on top of it a little bit. I probably need a new laptop, but we'll do with what we got right now. Okay. And like, right. And then we'll wrap up this trivia. What R.L. Stein series originally had 62 books and features titles like Save Cheese and Die and Night of the Living Dummy. And that's Goosebumps. Yeah. I don't know if I've actually read those. Those might have been a little bit after my time. I might have read one or two, but I haven't seen any of the movies or anything. Or movie, I don't know if there's more than one. Yep. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's tough to make time to run. And again, as I was saying at the beginning, it really helps to be consistent with it. Yeah, that's how I got. I'm still not in shape, but I finished my first marathon this past October. So, where are you from, Michael? You in a coldy area or somewhere where you can run all year round? Because I'm in Rhode Island and we're getting a big snowstorm this weekend, apparently. So I think well, I guess depend which way it goes. We could be getting up to a foot of snow, maybe even more. So and it's the most it snowed in years. I'm actually in an apartment where I don't have to shovel and I have a garage. And ever since I moved in here, we've hardly gotten any snow, but now it's paying off. I don't mind the snow so much if I don't have to do anything. All right. And we're probably gonna start up another 20-minute round here. And that will be our final round after this. And I'm playing around with the backgrounds here too of the counter. I don't want it to be too distracting, but yeah, I don't want it to be boring either. Oh wow, uh, Washington. Is that DC or state? Washington State or Washington DC? I just did the marathon. I did was a Marine Corps marathon that was in DC. Yeah, actually, I have a friend that lives in Vancouver, Washington, but I haven't been there yet. I've been to DC, obviously, so I just did that race, and now eventually I'll make it to Washington State. The furthest west I've been so far is Colorado, and I wrote about that one already, so that was a fun one. I have family out there, so yeah, I'm excited to start hitting some of these western states. Oh, cool, Washington State. Yep. Yeah, I bet up north it's even cooler than down in the southern part near Oregon and stuff. All right, here we go. We'll start one more round. Good luck. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, Michael. We'll see you in 20. All right, and we are back. All right, how did everybody do? I got a little more accomplished so far, so I'm glad I made some progress tonight. I think I'll be done with my first draft soon. So it's very cool. I'm got to race day now. I picked up my number and everything, so I'm happy about that. And as the main topic of this was motivation versus momentum, I'm gonna keep doing these every week and build some momentum up. Holy crap, Michael kicked some ass. Yeah, no, it was a really good day. So yeah, I'm so happy about that. I'm happy you were able to make it today. That's incredible. I think the story I wrote for the Born to Risk anthology was 1,000 words. So you wrote tonight just about what I wrote for that anthology. So that's cool. Put that to perspective. So that's so awesome. So I'd be excited to hear about your book. And yeah, so check out your other work too. So that'll be cool. And hopefully you'll be able to make it to some more of these. I know you might not always have these Thursdays available, but whenever you're there, and then you can always catch the replay. Right. I think I'm gonna wrap this up now, and we'll be back again next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So gonna keep this train rolling, and good luck on all your works, and we'll keep on going. Thank you, everybody.